Wow. Welcome to this section. This um, unique theory. Okay, we're talking about Python models, and then what import is about. Import, we hear import models. So I'd like to hear from you. What is a model? When you hear us say model, what is a model? What do you think a model is? Nobody?
Topman,
Yes, the green.
according to me, a module is just like these are source codes, or I can say they are functions actually in simple terms. They are functions that we write. Let me say like that. They can either be user defined or the standard like the standard functions that Python has. So when we need to use them, we just import them.
Okay, so the standard function that Python has. Sounds like you have a good idea of it. Okay, all right. So if you've had that experience, let me take us back to C programming a bit, where we had to first we learned how to write certain functions, and then this guy is not up yet. What's up? We learned how to write certain functions and uh, have them do what we want them to do, and then we got to the point where we could write functions and separate them and call them in a main file. I mean, which was the reason for us having main.h, you know. So remember how we could let me call this function C. Now, if I wanted to write a function that we add to, I think I should begin from here. If I wanted to write a function that could add to integers, all I needed to do was like maybe a program. Let's just write a program that could add to integers. You know that I'm going to start my header file. It will be followed by the declaration of the function, the main function, and then inside it, I may or may not use uh, variables, integer variables. You know, but then I'll have my printf statement that will make us see on the standard output what really happened. You know, how the cells were added. So I format my data, the output the way I want it to look, format it, and then it prints out. Right. So there's another scenario where I will write a function. I could write the function in another file. Let's say called let's say add.c, and then I have another file called main.c where I will call this function, call it inside this function, and then assuming I also have a function that could subtract, and have the one that could multiply, model C, and also have the one that could divide,
Sorry, you might have to zoom in on your
div.c.
screen a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
It's tiny, like to me. I don't know about others.
I'll work on that now. Um, all right. This is better, right? Take a look. I believe it's fine now. This is okay. So I could have functions, 4 different functions written in 4 different files, and then I have the other file as the main file, and of course I have to have there has to be some header file which you know as main.h. Of course, it could be anything.h, right? So main.h, and then inside the main.h you're going to have prototypes of function. In fact, you could even have header files, header files there. You could also have macros defined in there, and then here you have your function defined to add. Now we return something like this, and then this one returns something like this. Is there anyone here who does not understand this illustration? Because I'm trying to begin from the known to the unknown. So if this one is not known enough, then I will be causing confusion rather than helping. So no one is talking. I believe everyone understands. So here now, in the main file now, the main program, I will now call add. The right format and say add this, comma, and this. I pass the right argument to it, and then you add. I could as well call the function sub, and say subtract. Maybe I give a real number to it, an integer, or some variable, depending on what I want to do it, and so on and so forth. And then after everything, say return 0, and then it will be executing. So I want you to relate models to something like this. Models is just like you defining functions. You could group your functions in a particular file and say, okay, I want to call it in another file. Of course, usually they refer to it as name. When you import models, that file now, assuming I have a file like this, assuming I had all this file, let me close this. Let me exit this terminal. So assuming I had these files, real files, add.c, sub.c, multiply.c, and divide.c, and then main.h and main.c. So assuming I have all this file here in Python, they would have been called modules. For me to import them, I would have been importing them here. Just the way. Sorry, here. And this guy will be able to recognize them when he sees their prototype here, because you are going to have include main.h as the header file for this one. So he goes to main.h, and then it recognizes that, okay, there should be a function that has such a prototype. It goes to that function, sees the definitions, and then it carries out the action inside here. Right? Is there anyone who does not understand this? So that's something similar for Python. Something similar. Okay, so that's by the way. Why Python programming is awesome. I don't think I want to do it there. How to import functions from another file. Okay, how to use imported functions, how to create models, how to use built-in function, how to prevent code in your script from being executed when imported, how to use command line arguments with your Python programs. Okay, we have to learn, right? Now, I like you to participate anyway. I like you to be actively involved in this class. But let's go to say, first of all, let's learn how to write a function. Although I want to assume that we all can write a function. So let's try to write a function in Python. Then I'll come back and ask us this question: how to import function from another file. That's the language you use: import, export, import. Okay. because it's when you import a function to another file that you can call it. So I want us to write a program in Python. No, Git bash does not really favor Python. Okay, just if I run with the interpreter to run. I want us to write a function that a function that adds two numbers. Okay. This function this function I just wrote now. Okay, can we just write all these functions in one file? So let's call it operator. No, let's call it calculator. Calculator dot py. Let's begin from there. Okay, I think I need to use VI. First, I need to start adjusting this one again. Alright, so let's go. What do I do? Let's write functions. It is expected that by now we know these ones. Before we start talking about Python imports and models, we should know about functions. So let's go.
Shebang.
Shebang. Wow, shebang is so important to you.
That's what I call it to just the hash being user being Python
Actually,
3.
we don't even need this guy here. But no problem. And this is Windows. I'm using Windows now. This guy is so needless here, but let's just go ahead. So user being, I like to do it like this. Python 3, right? Okay. Let's go to the main thing now. Yes. How do we define a function in Python? Remember that if it were in C, I will have something like maybe the return value, the name of the function, let's say add, and then the argument int a int be indicating the types. Of course, it must not be AB. It could be anything. It could be no one, no two. So I have something like this, and then I'll come here. I have my curly brace open. So how is it done in Python? Someone tell me.
DEF.
I'm seeing a hand up. I'm Bruce. What is?
Topman,
Yes.
thank you. I think in Python, if you're defining a function, you use the def, the keyword def, something like def.
So go
Then
ahead.
you
So
mention,
you define a function that can add
yeah,
two
like,
numbers. Go.
yeah. Then you put there maybe add
Okay.
underscore maybe underscore two, but it will be
Yeah,
a
I
long
think add
name.
is enough. Let's go.
Underscore,
Add. Let's go. Add.
yeah.
Sorry, please. Okay. What
Then
next?
wow, somebody take
Okay,
over.
add is very rampant anyway. I think I'll go with plus. Add is very. Let it not look like it must be add. Okay. What should I do next? What should I just tell me what to type? What should I enter into the editor?
So open a brace and
Okay.
uh, put the arguments that will hold the value that we want to receive. So we need two numbers, two arguments. Okay, number
I
one
did not
and one.
even. I think I should follow you. So int no one, right?
No. We don't do we? We don't do that in Python. Just put the argument holder. Yes, number one, number two, and then you
All right.
close. With
Okay.
in
So is
Python,
that it? Are we correct?
You have to put I think is it colon after that. After that definition, yes.
All right. Thank you very much. So I want you to do this. Let's say I want to use an f string. F string. So I'll say number one plus num two equals num 1 plus num 2. Who does not understand what just happened now? Is there anyone? With this alone, we are done. I don't know.
Sorry, the print function, does it have the ability to make that calculation?
No. Print function does not have the capacity to make such calculation. Is this guy here? This F man here. F endows the curly brackets with the capacity to evaluate what it has, what is contained inside it. He can now either go for the content or do any evaluations, calculation. So it's not the print statement. I see. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so to divide, so I'll just copy this and paste so we'll be faster. Um, so this time I want to make it, oh, you copy the line number. Very interesting. Okay, so I will call this one, let's call this one subtraction, but since you're using plus, we'll call this a minus. Just to see how model works. Minus and 1 and 2. So I will just change this sign inside here to minus. Of course, that sign is just a string, is not doing anything. The one that is doing the thing, the work is this one here, inside the curly brace. Okay, I will go ahead and paste as well, but this time I don't want to paste that kind of pasting again. Oh no, that's not what I want. Mm. Okay. So this, I'll call this one um
Times.
thank you. Times. For this time I don't want to use F string again. I want to change the style now. I don't want to use F string again. I want to use it as format. So I take this off from here. I take this off from here as well. I take this off from here. Immediately after the closing quotation, I put a dot, notation, and format. Then I start naming the variables the way it is. If you know how to use printf very well, this shouldn't be hard to understand. That is if you don't understand already. So asterisk is for times, as you know. And then after close the bracket and then close um, the print bracket as well. So we are good. We're good. Okay, I want to also now define a function that we divide two numbers. Okay, so I'll call this divide, let's call it div. Okay, I'll call it divide. Divide should take two arguments and do this and do this. But this time, nobody's going to be a line 10. I put X here, so it looks like times. So here, I put this. Okay, I want to do something now. And I need somebody to explain. I want to do something with this divide function now. Okay, format this. Uh, if So what's them? What is happening here already? What's happening?
Slow down your voice. Ambrose, your voice, please. And your voice is sweet for this kind of explanation. I feel like explain, but your voice is sweet.
Ah, that's my friend. Say what you know. That'd be funny.
Okay, to my own
Uh,
understanding, I think this is
yes.
just in like C programming. You want to print your remainder using the modulo sign. You get
Mm.
line 14 states that if num one modulus num two is not equals to zero, print remainder. So if
Mm.
any calculation, any input you want to divide anything using number num one and num two, if it's the result doesn't ends as a single digit or conical, the print line 14, I mean line 15 will print the remainder after a comma sign. Abi?
Mm. Okay. Oh.
I
Okay.
don't
So
know.
what I've done here. Thank you very much. What I've done here is, you know that normally on the Python. Let me use this Windows Python. We are using Python like this. I hope it's not too tiny. I hope it's not. Maybe I should leave it the way it is. So that maybe to let you know. Normally, when you're using the interpreter, you do something like, I mean, the interactive mode, and you do something like this. 4 divided by 2, it gives you 2.0. It presents the answer as float. You know, did you observe that I stopped it from presenting the answer as float? You know, so if you don't want it to present it as float, you do this. You do a which one? What is this called now? This is classic division, right? This is floor division. Which one is floor? Which one is classic? What's the difference between floor and classic, please? Floor division and classic division. Which one
Did
is
you say
classic and which
floor?
one is floor? Yes,
Floor, floor.
yes.
Okay, okay. Floor means approximation, taking the lower side. You can round up or you can round down. So floor says take the lowest, the down part. So if you have 2.1, it takes two. If you have 2.5, it takes two. If you have 2.7, it takes two. That's floor. There are some languages that have seal. If you have 2.1, it's going to take three. If you have 2.5, it's going to take three. If you have 3.1, it's going to take four. So floor takes rounds up to the closest, the lower integer.
Ah,
So you
like who knows how to use this method I'm trying to use here that's not working? Who knows how to use it? I think I'm not using it right.
what is that?
Or is it the wrong spelling? As a
Floor.
as a there's a method like that, an inbuilt method for floor. Is it
Maybe
round?
It is round. I don't think floor has two arguments. It is just a single argument.
Ah, but I gave a single argument that it didn't work. Okay, so I did floor division. I had to employ the floor division strategy here, and to make sure that this guy goes prints where joins. I mean the concatenation is perfect. I had to um define the end here. These are things I believe you know. I define the end. But if you don't know what anything is doing, you just come attention. So I will explain because right now I'm assuming that you know um
Yeah.
still a lot about the basics. You know, this is not even exactly what we've come to do today, but it's going to be part of. We're going to use this file, but let's make sure our function is working. Let's make sure our function is working. So um, I'm sorry, I have to hasten up because my battery my battery is not smiling at me, and whoa, that's Windows for you. The file is already executable. All right, but it's not a main file, right? It's not a main file. It's there's. I mean, we
Just
didn't hard
remember.
code anything. We didn't have to code anything, so we need to. Okay, let me make sure I'm following process. Let me make sure I'm following uh, this thing before I will skip it. Okay, how to import functions from another file. I think that's what we're doing now. How to use imported functions. So we are going to import this function. We've written the functions. We are going to import them. I think I don't need to do plenty of explanation. We import them, and then we'll see how to use the functions that are in them, and then how to create a model. How to create a model. I think we just began the process that is involved in creating the model. Yeah. In fact, what we did is as good as it's a model already. It's a model already. In fact, if you, the only thing that we need to add to this is to teach us how to create a package in Python. Where you have submodels and you have the underscore init file. Where you can make certain definitions. Let me quit it on be doing. All right. So this guy does not run interactive mode, and that is such a limitation we have now. It's never worked for me. In fact, I will have to close this tab and bring it back again for calling it. Is that aggressive? I don't want to again. So if you have Git bash and it runs interactive mode, come and teach me how. I'd like to learn. Okay.
Normally, just use Python 3 and it enters interactive mode on Git bash for me.
Are you serious?
Yes, Python 3 does.
Are you serious? It has never worked for me. So I use it on the command prompt, but then command prompt has its own limitations. How to has its own limitations, and let me see whether it will even work. Okay, let's see the command prompt will work for us. No, I think we don't need to waste time. We need to speed up. So I'll copy this to my Vagrant. My Vagrant is up. If I can make this text bolder and more visible, I'll simply copy it. Yeah, I should be able to do that. Okay, so this, no, too much. I think you should come more. All right. I get. Thank you. Okay. All right. So let me have this things created here. I'm gonna make a directory. So that we use a Linux system. I'm gonna cd into it, and here we go. So I'm gonna use Vim. Calculator, right? Follow this because it's about to get more complex. Calculator. So we already have a model like I told you. So I'm going to have this guy pasted inside here. Where is that guy? Come out. And then I leave Git bash alone and leave Windows alone for now. Yeah. So we want to confirm whether our program is even working well. There's a mistake. All right, have it pasted here and Git bash. I'll see you later. Okay. So I'm gonna close this. All right, and quit. Here we go. I need to make it executable. Of course, this is not. I called the
Top man,
calculator.
you didn't add the extension to the calculator.
It will still work, but in fact, I'm not adding again. Don't mind me. It actually still work like that because of that line, that first line that we have there, right?
Okay, the Shiban. Right.
But then let's do the needful. All right. Woo! Okay, very quickly. I'm going to import this guy now, right? So Python 3, I'm going to the interactive mode. I could have written a file. I could have imported it in a main file like main.py. But I think we should just do this one because my battery has just warned for that me. Nigeria is a great country. So now if we import calculator, take note of this. If we are importing our model, we have a model already. Just take it, we have a model already. If we're importing this model into this place, come on. Not you. Once we do this, it has been imported. but we don't have direct access to. Oh, there's a mistake in our code. That's it. Line 4. What happened? F this. What's the problem?
It's a copy and paste. It may have scattered the code. Check.
I don't have this time. Oh.
It will be because I'm not sure it's that is that something is pointing there.
That was line 4, right?
Yes, line 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. What is the problem now? Debuggers. What are the international debuggers of LAX? I think I've just used .format method and solve that issue. So let me take. Where am I now?
So if you want to edit now, where are you going to edit? Here or the other place?
I'll edit from here. Edit from here. So I take this, I paste it here. Let me now use it and take this one off. And so take this, paste it here. Take this one off. So now do this.
Boss, no vex.
I was thinking because you are using
What?
You are using dot format and
What?
F string. You are using dot format and F string at the same time.
It shouldn't matter. It does not concern that guy. I think so anyway. But if you've experienced it, I am willing to learn.
How did you edit a full line on Vim?
What?
How did you remove a full line?
Okay, full line. Just DD will cut it off. YY copy it. On the command mode DD. So let's import again and see. Calculator. What's up? Line. Oh, I think this guy is friendly with .format string. As another line that does not have .format. Let me please you today. I am lawyer. So Shift A. Alright. Remember. It's .format now.
You are using a curly braces inside the dot format reminder.
Exactly, that's the problem.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I didn't see she instead of bracket. You okay? Now let's, like I said, we've written a model. This is a model right now. So let's go ahead and show us. Let's see what's there. Hello, LS. Okay, so interactive mode, please. When it applies in the interactive mode,
Off.
come on. Persistent.
Spelling error. Python is wrong.
Oh, Python.
What shall I?
And not and join. You can leave this part is fun. All this part is fun. Any person that's watching it on YouTube see this part. Alright. Now let's import our model. So we are not going to talk about the grammar, the grammatical and grammatical, talk about the practical and practicals, such, because the aim of this is to pieces it down, not to show how professional we are.
Do you have to put .py?
Yeah?
I thought one has to put. You are going to remove that dot py now since you want to import.
How far?
So I thought maybe probably you wanted to run some of the operations like the plus, the minus. So we should look at.
Is he still on the call?
He has muted.
He's muted.
He's not on mute. Maybe he's attending to something. I don't know.
Okay, don't add the document and come back because I have thought. Guys, sorry about this. Sorry. All right. All my system is still coming on. Now, number one thing I want you to take note of is I wish I'm the one. I would have used my whiteboard. The act of doing can you type this I'm talking? Import model. That's what you just did now. Import model. You have done it already. The difference between this, there's another way. There's another way of importing this thing. I mean, this. Oh, what of me? Now we call this model, right? And those guys that we've discussed, we've defined inside there. You know, like we can easily call them functions in C. Functions in C. But here you'll be hearing methods. You know, you'll be hearing name. Now we call them name in this scenario. Yeah, they are names that have been defined names, right? Now we don't have direct access to those functions yet. We cannot use them. For example, try using plus. Put plus and give it any two arguments. Let's see what happens. All right, so you see that. So the only way we can access it is with the dot notation. The dot notation, and this is where you begin to appreciate the knowledge of struct, you know, in C. Now, if you let's do it. Calculator dot plus, and give it that argument again. So it's doing it well now. 2 plus 3 equals 5. That was what I put in the print statement. I said, whatever they give to you, put the first number, print out the first number, print plus, print out the second number, and then print 5. Print the result, right? The evaluator give us a result. Okay. Now, this is the only way. If you want to use plus, if you want to access it directly, then we'll do something like this from calculator. Let's say we want to use the divide from calculator. Import divide. Go. Now with this we can use divide directly. So let's divide two numbers. 15. I like this. 15 over 3. So 15 over 3 is equal to 5. Try to divide a number that will give us remainder. That's what happens.
Is the common necessary?
I think that was what you have in the file. Hold on, let me try to open a new.
Yes, it's in the file. I remember it's in the file.
The file
This
is
should be. This should be. How many? Okay. So you see, no. I cannot find the end.
So you can see here.
Look at it now. There's end there. So why didn't you put the end? Why did you put a new line? That's not supposed to put a new line. It's okay. That's by the way. That's not what we're looking for, right? That's not our problem. Maybe we should just take off the comma and space. Let them know that we are using two lines.
Oh,
And
Is there a
Hello?
modulus line sign at the end of the whole program?
Excuse me? What did you say?
I saw something like a modulus sign at the end of the program.
Yeah. I was asking you, what's that thing doing there? Unlike
This
let's
one.
go 25.
Is it this one?
Oh,
Is it this
there's a
you're
model
talking
sign
about?
there. What's it doing there?
No.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
This is Ubuntu terminal. This is a way to show that um how do I call it? That there's no new line after this. This is where it stopped. There's no new line after this. It's because I'm using cats. If I should go with VI now, you can see there it stopped at line 15 exactly. There's no. That's the way Ubuntu terminal works. Don't worry about it.
Okay, just like dollar sign, Abby, in normal
Yeah.
cat. Sometimes when we do echo.
Not really. That means the prompt is supposed to start, continue from there. Hold on, let me
Oh,
try to use, probably you understand like this. Let me change to bash. I'm using ZSH. So let me say cat. Do you see what it is? The prompt continued on the same line where where this one was printed. That's what it means by this dollar sign. That means there is no new line after this. That's the way ZSH work. Compared to bash, bash will print the prompt along with what you actually what it
okay.
displayed. I don't know if you get it now.
Yeah, I grab.
All right, let me go back to my ZSH. So
All right. Back to our interactive Python mode, interactive interpreter, Python interpreter mode. Okay. Now, of course you know that we still cannot use plus. We still cannot use minus times directly because we've not imported them directly. So we can only use the dot notation. But now we can access divide directly because we've imported divide directly. We've imported that name, right? Okay. Now, but if we use the white card, the white card, what have you? Try it. So from calculator, import everything. Import asterisk. That's the way of saying everything. So now we can use all of the functions in that place the way we want to use it. You can you're free to use it like a user. You never trust the user. Yeah. Okay. Divide. No use times yet. Times.
okay, well it was times. Okay.
All right. So this is it now. Okay. So we've demonstrated how that we could import the entire model and access what is inside it. Of course, that one requires that we must know what is inside of it. Like imagine it was easy. It was easier. Or it was easy for us because we wrote it by ourselves and we saw what is inside. And then it's not. It's an illustration, a simple illustration. If you check a model, like use that function dir. Let's see what our model contains. Dir, then put calculator. Let's see the names. Put calculator as an argument. As calculator as an argument to it. And this should display the names that it defines. So our definition is there. They've added Jira for us. They're even recognizing it as a package. So we've added some default or should I say built-in names, and made it to be things that are available to our model. Okay, so we have times, we have plus, we have minus, we have divide. Okay, now I was trying to say that it was easy for us. It's easier for us to do. The point I'm trying to make is whatever the model you're using was to do import model, it means you know exactly the sub model you want to use. You know exactly the function or method, whatever it is defined in that model that you want to use. Like we used before, we knew that there was a plus there, so we could do calculator dot plus because we are aware. Otherwise, you you should know. In fact, in any case, you should know what you want from that particular model. You know, because several models are available in Python now. Third-party models, models that do not come with, they are not built-in models. You know, people wanted to improve Python, want to make available some functionalities that they'll make it function better, and to write models, and some of them will come pre-installed. Some of them you can actually download some third-party models and use them here. All right. So that you can have your own model that you wrote by yourself, and you know that there are standard models. There are standard models. Another thing, I've talked about one, importing models. I've talked about two, importing everything, using the wildcard to import everything available in the model. And I've told you how that it is not a good practice. You should know what you want and import what you want. And if time permits, I'm going to show us how to define what should appear when we use wildcard. We can actually limit what will appear, what should be imported. Right, inside the directory called, this directory file now. It's a file called init.py. Inside that particular file, you can now make a list named underscore all underscore and say, okay, you define a list that these are the names that should go out when the wildcard character is used, because it's important to control what you want to import. You don't want to import unnecessary things. They may affect your program. They may make debugging difficult for you, because in real life you're not going to be writing all these 4 lines program. If you've seen the program Betty, how many lines it really is? I don't know what I've seen it before. You know, so when you're writing in Python does not mean that we'll be writing 10 lines program. Okay, so when the lines get more and more, becomes debugging becomes such a task, and you don't want to keep something that's capable of giving you headache, making debugging uneasy for you. So import model, from model import wildcard everything, from model import this particular function. We've done those 3 things here. Another thing is that we could do an alias. We could give it our own name, something likened to storing functions in a variable, something like that. So you can say import, you can say from calculator, import divide as d. I hope this is not okay. Let's go. Fine. So if you have pass argument to d, I say d, give it 2 and give it 2 numbers, it should work like our function. You're saying that. In fact, we could give the entire model an alias as well. You could just say import calculator as calc, and it will work. Calculator as calc. Great. So let's do calc.plus to see whether it's working. Calc.plus, and then give it to little numbers. All right. So it's working now. It's working. Now, the thing about models is that, like I said before, you'll be having only 4 things defined here. I've lost my outline, but I still know that one has to do with how to import functions. We've done that. We've import functions. We've used it, and then I think one has to do with command line. Yeah, command line. This is we'll talk about executing models as a script. I think that one will not happen in this place. I think this is all I remember now about what we can do here. Of course, you can now. Our model is lacking help. If you look for help, there is no doc string. You know,
to show that okay, this is what model is. Our model is not standard yet, right? Let's hope that we do more as we continue in this class, so that we do more. Okay, and then go to the point of defining package. Let's run. Let's try to run. Let's define more. Let's define another model. Go back. Exit this mode. Let's go back to the directory where. Now look at that directory. Py catch, where the compiled and non-human readable codes are saved. Okay, let's create another module. Let's call this one. What do we call it now? Somebody give me a name. Call it random.py. Is everyone not sleeping in this call? Are you writing notes? Are you practicing with us?
I'm still here with you.
I just watching.
Good. I still don't know whether yes. Don't just be watching, or you can get your computer to do something. Make sure you can be practicing.
My system is in Port Harcourt. Oh yeah.
That's it.
Travel.
Yeah. Now let's behave like student of LS and put the first line. That is needed. Okay, I want to define a function that let's call this one greet. It takes the name as an argument, and then all it does is okay, should it take name? Yeah, all it does is to greet his name. It's a welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Welcome. To Code Tribe.
Welcome, yeah. Okay, welcome name to Code Tribe. Alright, that's fine. But let's do something simple so we'll not sleep here today. Interesting. Okay. What's name? Alright, I hope not this time because your screen is frozen in my head. Am I in this call? Are you calling the night?
Yeah, in this call.
Yes, you're in the call. I think he himself has lost his network.
Oh, Father.
What's that?
Okay. Yeah, you are frozen as your screen was frozen. Alright, let's make progress. Now let's define another function again. Another function. This function should count words. We call it count word. Div count word. I think conventionally is Kamake is conventional with Python. I don't. Is she?
Oh, how do you?
I was expecting something like that.
We use underscore. There is no comment casing.
Okay.
All right. Let's be counting those things because
JavaScript
they are reading software engineer. Okay, so of course it takes the word as an argument, and then okay, someone needs to help me here now. Someone that is not available needs to help me here. And I want the program to count the words and say this word has such and such number of letters. Who wants to help? Okay, let me go ahead. You go ahead, remember? So that the one watching on YouTube will not. Okay, Abdul Hakim help us.
So I thought you are going to say learn of that word. So that will give us the number of word characters there.
Okay. Okay, so what do we do now?
Uh, we are just going to say print the number of character in the word is len of that word. So
This one is plenty. We have said the word this as
Oh,
the word, uh the word, then no, the word, word. I mean the word. Remove the is and
okay.
put word. Remove the is and put single quote around that curly brace. Put the curly brace into in single quote. Good. The word this has this character. Or letters will be fine. Letters. Okay. Yeah, cool. Just one line. One line. What if I say you should do this without using learn? You do something like that. See, don't touch learn.
You go
Don't do this
sleep
one. Don't
well,
do and
sleep
look.
well.
Only you will look through and count.
You go loop exactly.
Something like that. Indeed. Okay, so learn. That should be learn word. Okay.
Learned.
Okay. So I think this two is enough for us. So um yeah, it's enough for us to. Okay, so I want this guy to run on the command line. I mean, on the command line. Okay, I want to run on the command line, and can zero ones run on the command line? You can actually run on the command line. We can put it on the command line and pass two arguments to it. It's possible, right? Maybe that would be our assignment. But because of time, let's just run this one, and then we talk about some standard models, and then what else? There's something in that outline how to make a program not run as soon as you import it. It has to wait. Okay. You have not done. You have not done. You don't know too much. Who wants to explain this code and what is happening here, please? Please, if anything is confusing, you just do what they talk. I mean, do what they talk. Don't feel like you're the one who doesn't know much or you're the one lagging behind. Just want to be asking for others who might not be as outspoken as you are. So, can someone
Hey, wait. Is it me?
I will do this thing. I beg.
Oh god. Network.
Remember what is happening?
I guess what is
We can
trying
hear you.
can someone explain what is happening here line by line? Topman, are you back?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't even know when I'm back.
Yeah. You're
So
back.
who's helping us? Explain what because it's getting complex. Okay, so it's important we understand this simple part. And what is waiting for you in the future? A few weeks from now, what is waiting for you and others? You don't understand this thing. Yeah. So let's understand now. Timothy.
Okay, let me.
Okay.
Leave your network breaking too.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go on, fire. Wait.
Levi.
Blessing MTN they use to that
Okay,
one.
what is just here is it's still breaking.
Go on. I think you're good now.
Okay. So I was saying that On line 3, he defined a function that accepts one argument, and the parameter is name, of which is expected that we give in an argument in place of that parameter. So, and each time this function is being called, you should print out welcome. Then that curly braces stands for an input. Is a string format that accepts inputs. So welcome to CodeDrive.format. Then that curly braces name is expected to be put inside that curly braces, and that name is the parameter which Python will read as argument when you impute the argument. So it's going to put the value of a name. That name is like a variable that is holding a value, but you'll be the one to provide that value when you call the function. So Python will just do that in a twinkle of eye to just run the code. You might not even know what happened, but it has done what it's supposed to do. So it will just print welcome. If you put any name, for instance, the name, okay, if you put Levi, welcome Levi to CodeDrive. That's what it's going to print for that first function. Then the second function, the name of the function is count underscore word, and is also expecting an argument. So it's going to print the word, then you put in an argument for that parameter. So whatever argument you are going to put in, Python will convert it and replace it inside that curly braces in form of word, which is the name of your argument. Sorry, name of your parameter. So for instance, let's say the word is let's say okay, Levi. You say the word Levi has, then it will now come to the second curly braces, and it's going to, the way it's going to take the value for this second argument is from the second format. From this, it's going accordingly. The first one, that dot format is word. It's going to pick that word, the value from that word, and put in the first curly braces. Then it will now come to the second one, which is length of word. That it means the length, the number of words that input you put has. For instance, Levi has 4-letter words. So it's going to return a number and put that number inside that curly braces for the second parameter, or sorry, the second curly braces rather. So this thing will read the word Levi has 4-letter words. I think they should understand.
Okay, so who does not understand so far? If you don't understand, raise your hand. How your hand raised? So you all understand. So move ahead. Welcome. Are we here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're still here. Top one.
So now let's do what we did before, right? Remember that it must not be in the interpreter mode, in the interactive interpreter mode that we will test or import our models. We can import it in files, especially into the main file. In fact, we can import a model inside another module. We can import a model inside another module. We can decide to import calculator inside random, but it wouldn't make sense. How are we going to calculate inside random when they're creating? I'll not demonstrate that. I wish a quick one would come into my mind now. You can give me a quick scenario. Yeah, we need to import another model. I think that is easily demonstrated when you're doing object-oriented programming, and we'll get there. We'll get there soon. Get there. So yeah, you don't. That's yeah. No, we'll not talk about inheritance. Have you done inheritance? I'm not sure you've done inheritance. Python inheritance. I'm not sure.
We've done it. We've done
Yeah,
inheritance.
next I was giving us in inheritance.
Superb.
The
That's
inheritance
great.
one we don't know.
So so inheritance is about a model inheriting from another model. You know, becoming a sub model to one chief model like that. And then so inside that model, maybe an object may have been defined. So once it inherits from it, it inherits like it starts it's everything in it, the object in it becomes an instance of that model it inherited from, plus the additional features that the current model defines. Okay. Let's before I want us to run this particular model in the command line, but before we do that, let's there's no main file here. They're just functions defined and enclosing some files. Okay. Uh, let's go back to the command line in Python. Okay, maybe we should use the file this time. What do you think? Maybe we should have a main file and call it in. Let's have a main file. So let's have a main.py. So from random import. Yeah, this I think what I'm doing now is important because that's the way your project looks like this.
We can't see
Import.
the screen anymore. Or is it from me alone?
I think this from you. I can see it very well. Import. What are you importing? Import grid, count word. All right. So um, um let's say children of AX. Very trained. And I'll say you personal given to function without putting space. Okay, so let's go. Grid. Of course, it's a good thing to. It's a good practice to declare that you're doing main. You put the main bracket, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I want to do that right now. So let's go. Grid. Grid who now? Find one person here. Greeted. Grid. Greeted your phone. Oh, great Levi. Our great Levi. Okay. After greeting Levi, let's say count word. Count word to be used 3 times. Where are the names we have here? Count Amaka. Count the word Amaka. Then I'm seeing the name I've not seen before. Ombola Falomo. Good evening. You're welcome. Count Falomo.
Good
evening.
I've seen the name before.
Falomo. Falomo. Falomo.
Spell the name.
Falomo. Mobola Falomo.
Ombola Falomo.
Mobola Falomo.
That is sentence. That name sounds like sounds like
Who else?
great name. Did you say what?
Who else? Who else?
It's not completely. There's O after the M. O.
Malik.
Count. Okay, Malik. I don't know, give you anti-establishmentarianism. Okay. All right, they're making progress. Now let's exit and run our main.what file. Now you call that in our main dot what's it called now? In our main dot US file,
there is this variable called underscore name, right? It will equal, the value will be equal to, can you just type it? Yeah, thank you. The value will be equal at this point to underscore main. I want to create a string, actually. Yeah.
Wait, start again,
This is, I should start again. I should rewind.
From this name.
From this name. I say at this point now we are running the main program. The value of underscore name will be set to be underscore main. Hence, we can use this thing to control when the program will run and when it should not run. You know, there are some models that could just start running. Okay, let's assuming that's okay. This one I want you to reason abstractly. Thank you. I want you to reason abstractly, assuming that the program we wrote, you know, is a program that takes no argument, and the moment you call it, it starts printing, "You're welcome to Code Tribe. Our mission is this. Our vision is this. Our purpose is this." You know, you can control the program to shut up until this variable here name is equal to main, and it can't be equal to main by default. It has to be running a main file. You know, it has to be running in an environment where, okay, this is like main file. I mean, it can't run in the function file. I mean, how do I break it down? It's the way you prevent it, control it from just running on its own, running when you don't want it to run. Because if you want it to run, you put it in your main file, right? And so that value is automatically set to main when you want to run on your command line as well. When you want to run command line argument, it's like it automatically imports. You can call this function now on the command line. It will run, you know, with the value automatically set to mail. It will import module by itself and do the running by itself on the command line, produce results. That's by the way. So let's run our program main.py Python 3 main.py. Let's see what happens. Go. Welcome Levi to Code Tribe. That was the name we give it. The word marker has 5 letters. Very correct. The word Falomo has 6 letters. The word Malik has 6 letters. Falomo, I'd like to know the meaning of your name. Would you like to tell us on YouTube? She's not talking now.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said I'm interested in the meaning of your name. Would you like to tell us? That's your assignment. That's your assignment. 20 marks. Let's continue. All right. Now, we can have this guy run on the interactive Python mode, right? I don't want to go over that again, but I want us to make it. Are you there already? Come back. Thank you. I want us to make it run as on the command line. So let's go back to the file. There's a module that makes that possible. There's a module that makes that possible, and it's called sys. So let's import sys. It's actually a V that we need in the sys, so no one. Let's import sys. Okay, and then come at the last line of under. So if underscore name equals underscore main string, of course. Oh no, I'm gonna make that string. The main underscore main should be string, and then okay, if it's that, I think this is even the point to import the string. This is because I don't need sys for everything. Import sys here. Import the sys are like 13. Like that. Import sys. We'll take the one off. I don't want take line for off. That's later. You can okay. Roll it. C programming. Who has tried importing I've not tried that before. Like calling a header file where it's not line 1, not line 2, bringing it inside. I think I need to try it. That's what will happen. I'll call him printf. Say, I think he came for printf. Wait, I'll call it in line 4. I'll call printf in line 5. And I will not. He's not good for us to explain again.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good.
All right. So now the function we want to use. Let's test. Which one should we test now? Okay, the one. Yes, let's use count word. So if this is so, count word. Now the count word, of course, the argument we're going to give to it now. This is not hard coding, right? We're not trying to hard code. We're trying to make it take argument from the command line. So we have to specify that it's a string we want. So with the string is argument you're passing to count word now. String, please. Now the string itself, as in the data type string. SCR is enough. The keyword, yeah, thank you. Now the string 2, you need to specify where the string is coming from, which particular one are you working on. And you know that once the culture, the tradition of us counting from 0, that when you run this program, whatever the name of the file, not whatever the name of the file now is main.py. The main.py is this main.py?
The name of it.
Hey, are we not doing this in the wrong file?
I think so.
We're doing this in the wrong file. Take it off. We should be doing this in the file where we have our function defined.
No, this thing will copy number. I'll write
Yes,
it again.
That's why I configure my VI not to display numbers permanently. It's other Emacs I use to display number permanently. So let's go. I think this, we're doing that in the wrong file. So let's go to the main file where those good is it. Because inside that file, you can't be saying if what equal to me. It's already, you can't control anything there. I believe so. So equals. Because you're testing for equality.
Is it this?
Yes.
Okay.
Count word. And that word should be in string format, and the string should be taken from argv. Count word should have its own parentheses open to receive an argument, but then we are giving it string as an argument. And if you know what string is, okay, we are going to be talking about data structures, hopefully, in our next PLD. And you know it's back to back. Please don't miss it. Don't miss it. It's back to back. And I'm out. Really, I'm out. So hopefully we'll talk about data structures, and I will talk about it with speed, because if I start explaining everything in details, we might spend 2 weeks talking about data structures. Lists, tuples, dictionaries, sets, and string. String is not data structure. Now, you know that there's a method like this. There's a method like this, str. I pass parentheses. So you know what it does. Okay, let me assume you know. What it does is it convert anything given to it, converts it to a string. Right? It expects it to be a string. Okay. So we want to now we cannot just pass it to count word like that. String is not the argument of count word. Right? It's not the argument of count word, but now string cannot be empty. What is that string? What is that thing that it is converting to string? It is making sure that thing is string. What is that thing? So we go ahead and give it a thing. We say that thing is not hard coded, but get it from the position, from the number 1 position. Of course, position number 1 is the second position, right?
Yeah.
Get it from index 1. So we go 6.argv. In the square bracket, we put 1. And your common understanding of array in C should remind you what that 1 is doing there. the 0, what is at position 0 will be the file. You will see it in a short while. What is at position 0 will be the file that we want to run. And once there's a space there, it takes the next word, whatever you type there, to be at position 1. And then all these things now that is in this bracket count word will not disappear, because they are all pointing to whatever it is you're going to type there. It will not be replaced with that thing that we typed there after the file. Okay. And this is the point where line 1 becomes necessary, because we can make it a string, run the file, and pass the argument. I think Python 3 can still run the file as well. But Python 3, now the question is what the question one. Okay, let me not bring this question now. Okay, let's stop here. All right, so we'll run it and then I'll come back and ask any questions. Let me not ask any questions now. We'll run it and then I'll come back and ask any question. So let's make it executable. And that's our random. All right, so right now I want to run random, so give us a name. I want you to count Nigeria.
Names.
So go ahead. So the word Nigeria has 7 letters. Our function is working on the command line right now. So that dot / random.py is what is at argv0. You may want to highlight it. Argv0. Yeah, thank you. Argv0 equals dot random. Yeah. Why argv1 now equals Nigeria? If there was another word after argv1 after Nigeria, it should have been argv2. Okay. So that's it. Now can you please cut into the file? Let's take questions now. Cut into the file. Any question, please?
Yeah, they're confused though.
So tell me what is confusing you. Please use your cat. Use cat, and this one we don't know about the spaces. Use cat and pass option n to it, and then the file name. Cat option n, the file name. You should number even the spaces. Okay, so ask your question. I have to take this call.
So this function only pass an argument like into the under our LSF again. How come it just ran only the Nigeria, like the def count word, and it ignored the
what?
It ignored the line 4.
But you please help me explain that. I'm on the corner. I want to take this call, please.
Because what we specify inside here, we only use the function count word inside this if statement. I didn't think we actually used, we passed in the greet function as well. It would have printed this welcome, whatever the name that is being passed as the first argument here. Probably we should try that out. Let's see. This is what I mean. Let's say before this, we actually have something like this. Greet. And we say it's a string. Sorry. And we say it should take it from the what? We should take the first argument in the what? Sorry, the first argument, not the.
That's index 0.
At index 1. You know the program file, just like your argv and your argv. You know the program file is not argument per se. But the argument start from what? Index 1. So let's say
Okay.
it's because we did not use this greet. That's why it skipped. It did not call this function. It was only the count word
Okay.
function we called back inside this if statement. That's why it's only what printed this. So let's try this again. And then we use the same Nigeria. You can see, welcome Nigeria to Code Tribe. No, then we have what? The word Nigeria has what? 7 letters. Probably let me just cut out. Then run the stuff again. So here you have it. Do you understand now why it skipped? Because we did not use the greet function.
Yeah,
That's why it's
yes,
printed
because
this one.
you didn't call the grid
Yes,
function.
inside here.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Another quick one. Assuming we have another function
Yeah.
or like the third function, are we still going to use this argument past this index one? Is it still the same index one you're going to continue using there?
Yeah. As long as we only need what? We only need just one argument. One argument passed to the function. And once it has what? The first argument that is passed to the random to the program file when you try to execute that file. You can also make it to be like the second argument, but why would you want to disturb yourself with that one? That means this first argument will be very useless. Let's say you can let's just try this for fun. Okay. Let's say you change this to 2 now. Instead of 1, you change it to 2. Or this one is 1 and this one is 2. Okay, let's do it like this. 1 is 1 and the second one is what? Is 2. Okay, so let's get out.
Well, sorry, but what if we have two parameters passed to the function we defined?
So we have, let me use my name here, Abiodun, and we have what? Nigeria.
We are using VI. You are using VI. You are not running the code.
Oh, thank you very much. I just saw it before
Now,
I press enter.
you just edited 2 files. Yes, 2 files. Exit, yes. Quit.
Sorry about that. So go back up now. What's your problem? This is what I wanted to do. So Abiodun, inside or before I run this, let me first cut into the file back. Inside here, the first function is taking the first argument, while the second function is taking the second argument. If there is no second argument passed, this function will not work. Okay, let's just try only one argument now. Let me just say Abiodun is going to say that what it is out of what index, because what we are trying to access what the second index, which there is no what second argument. So for this one to work, we actually need to, let me cut out back. We actually need to pass what that second argument for it. That's when it will now run. So that means this one is taking just the first argument and this one is taking the second argument. That's why we have welcome Abiodun to Code Tribe. The word Nigeria has 7 characters, but mainly you just need to pass the first argument. You can use this to build a calculator or something like that. Just the same. This is just the same way you do your argv, your command line argument in C programming language. There is no much difference. It's just the syntax.
Alright, good. So is that clear?
Yeah. Is it clear now?
Yes, boss. Yes, boss.
Yeah.
That's great. So in other words, if okay, we are allowed to. Otherwise, I would ask you to to write a program that will add as many numbers as you give to it. Add it, something like something very deep, But just it's simple, right? Very simple. Write a program that will print and that okay, the first argument is this, second one is this. It's okay. But let's not deviate from where we're going to. Right. So let's end this section with let's experiment with one standard model. Right. So I think we should use the interpreter mode.
Okay.
This is the point where vagrant becomes necessary. If you have vagrants, this is where you want to use it because you make mistake in this kind of programs. Eh, this kind of programs. Okay, let's import. Let's deal with operating system interface. If you read that material, I think this was the first. Am I correct? It's among the standard models that was mentioned in that materials that you're supposed to read for that project. Yeah, one of the material was focused on talking about this is you're doing here, how to import, how to the white card, and then packages. And then the other one was talking about standard models and was saying some things that will confuse total beginner. I believe so. I mean, you're looking at it and what is all this? What is It's good though. I will go to this level. It's good though. Okay, so let's import OS as the model for operating system interface. When you hear the word operating system, what comes to your mind? Okay. Yeah, go. Now, this is where you want if you import any module, any standard module, try to check. Let's do the OS. You will see that this screen will full. This screen will full and there will be space. Let's go. Are you seeing? You can even scroll up and down. Look at what is inside it. So if you are seeing us putting only 4 things inside one this model, I now go and sleep and say you know how to write model. You have to make a model. That is more to you to, but this is for you to understand it basically. Okay. For you to understand it basically, you can see macros, you can see, is that the right word? Okay, let's leave that for now. Okay. We don't know, there's no way to get the screen here now, so let's continue. Let's continue. So the model is imported. How did you do that now? Okay, the model we imported has certain capacities. It's already. Did you raise it? It's still there now.
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
just trying to bring it
That's
up.
displaying what
Yes.
So it has several capacities. Now that model can tell us it can do something like PWD. Let's go. OS dots what's that? What's that command? I think it's get current working directory. Get CWD.
Get
CWD. Current working directory. So give it, it's like a method or function. So you give it the parentheses. So go. Enter. It's okay. It's telling us exactly where we are. Function like PLD and PWD. Hey, you know how you know just how powerful you are. And you can interact with the kernel, you can interact with the operating system. you know just how powerful you are. It's okay, you're making progress. Okay, now we can actually change the directory. So let's go to the directory. Where are you going to go to now? Let's go to. Let me look for trouble now. We don't have. Let's go to practice. So, this is your computer. I can see. But let's experiment with it. Here is new man now. So OS dot change the CHDR. So inside here in a string, you put home. I mean /home. That GAFA. Let's go to documents. I copy everything. Learning programming. Okay. Take it. Stop at LX. Yes. Want to change the.
And I thought we were learning together.
Are you lost? Now what I'm doing is just demonstrating how certain models have been defined. I mean, this is a standard model, right? It's been defined to do such things. Now this is what you would have done with CD. Now if this would be strange to you if you don't know how to use CD if you don't know how to use absolute part and relative part, maybe I should explain that. Okay, let's go ahead first. Let's go ahead. So enter. Now, right now, if we exit this interpreter mode, we are still where we are. But inside here, we have access. We've changed access from the Python interpreter. We are inside another place now. So show us. We're inside LAX. Now we can create new direction inside LAX. Okay, let's make new directory. So os.system. os.system. Does that work? I've not tried that before. Should we try it? Okay, let's go with the os.system. I think it should work.
So
I'm not sure
system
now.
like this.
Yeah, system. Then in bracket, the string you're going to pass to it that is the normal command used on command line. So make directory. Let's call what's this guy's name again? White. Make directory white. Let's make the directory white and who again? Who's there again? Sandra. Sandra.
Èmi náà ni.
I did not call you. I'm talking to Abiodo.
Ẹ wo, sorry o, ẹ má bínú.
Okay. So go ahead, enter. Now, call that. Now it returns 0. Remember what 0 means when 0 is returned. Go back, call that number back, call that command back and change the bracket to ls. ls. Things are happening. Is this what you have there or not? You can see Sandra. Which one is that guy? Yes, you can see white. Okay, maybe we should change the direction to white. Okay, let's go into white. So call the command back and change directory. Yeah, change directory to LAX white. Wait. Inside white, we want to create a file. Amazing, we can even call VI from here. V from here and do our thing. And okay. So let's echo something to white. No, white is the directory. Let's echo something to a new file inside white. So echo.
Okay.
Echo white man. That will conflict. Just remove the just put it like that. You're putting white man Julio. White man inside a file. Let's call the file Mr. White. White is the author and finisher of this example. Okay, so it returns 0. That means it was successful.
Yep.
All right. Now, all the things you are doing now, if we exit here, we are still where we were before. Try it. Exit. Let's see.
No verse. No.
Okay, so let's navigate into that particular directory where we made those changes and see. Because it's as though we didn't move. But it was like Ojuna Mo. It went and
we have white and then we have
did
Sandra.
something. So you can see Sandra, you can see white. Move into white.
So we have the Mr. White.
That's what that. You can see we have the file white. If we cut into it,
We have
we have
white
what to
man.
put inside it. But we are somewhere else doing something as nothing is happening. Imagine that. Imagine that I put those things in the program and say this program enter this person's computer. When they go there, create a directory inside here. Put one big virus that will follow the video. Oh, brother, we are powerful. So we define the behavior of computers. So that's just to give you an example of a standard module and all those things like I was trying to explain. All those things that you're seeing inside. If you do those chain directory system, what have you?
Get current working directory and
Yes,
the likes
the
of
current working directory. It's just like let's go back to our own. Let's import our own models now. Go back to interactive mode. Go to interactive mode. Let's import our own models. Would it even import? We are not in the same directory now. Let's see where does it work.
import.
Import calculate. Calculator. Calculator is not very serious. Import. Okay, calculator is fine. It's fine. Calculator. Import calculator. Fine. Okay. You need to be in the
Oh,
directory. So move the direction.
oh,
I was thinking, try to see. So move with one command from there. Look, see what it's doing now. So if you know how to do this thing, it's even not you don't disturb you for yourself. I wish it was longer. How you can start a point and get to anywhere you want to get to and do
okay,
anything you want
now
to
we're
do.
back. We've imported
So
calculator.
import random as well. Import random.
Okay, import random.
All right. So let's go random dot count word.
Count word.
Now this random dot count word liken it to os dot get whatever CWD. Although that one was written not to take argument, it's easy to write a function not to take any argument. Now when you just call that function, the function will just do what it's called to do. And that's how get CWD was written. That's why we didn't need to pass any argument to it. Okay. So, but this is our own, we define to take one argument. So I was just trying to say, you know what will happen if we run this function? You know what will happen, don't you? You want it to run it. I'm trying to say that os dot get CWD is like saying random dot count word. That os dot system is like saying random dot glitch. You know. Okay, so maybe I should add one. Let's add a function that does not take any arguments to that file. We'll come back. Okay, maybe you should run this one. Let it be like we saw it. Run it again.
Okay.
Have you left already? Problem. Add something to the file. Let's add one more different. Let's define one more. Maybe from line 9. Yeah. Push it down. What will this program do now? What's program do? We have come to the end. Wait. Let's start a program that can print current working directory. How do we do that? Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Go up and import that OS. We use it today.
I should import the OS back.
Import OS. Let's not suffer ourselves. Use what they've done already.
Okay. Import OS.
So div no, let's call it where.
Okay.
You've come. Where are we? Where am I? Where am I?
Okay.
You do have who am I? Where am I? Good. So no argument. Fine. Under.
Okay.
Inside it, just give it that guy.
I can just remove these parentheses back.
No, put it now. We need it. Don't need it. You've said want to frighten me. So we say os dot get. Actually, we can define our own without having to use what they did. But let's go and face our project first. So we'll start defining what people have problem. Start trying to solve problems that people have already solved. Okay. All right. Okay. We just define our function just to show. Let's define the original one. Go down again. Let's define another original function that does not take argument, because this one we want to copy people's work. So go down. Let's say diff buy or say farewell. Like bye bye. Yeah, farewell. Is that it?
Is that to spell farewell?
FAREWELL.
Oh, okay.
That's spell firewall.
FARE.
Under the R.
FARE.
Yes.
FARE.
Okay. No, you have right before. Okay, so just print. We have come to the end of this PID. The moment we use this function, just end the recording. Tell everybody bye bye. We've come to the end of
I'm on nothing like question. No, calm down, Prosper. My phone is to 1%. I need to see the end of this class.
It's okay. You see it on YouTube. Don't worry.
No, I said before
Thank
he
you
will
for
end, I asked
joining.
a question for him.
All right. Don't worry. Before you use this function, you ask a question. No problem. It's okay. But we'll use where am I first. So let's go back to command line and import this guy random.
Yeah, Abi.
Now this is inheritance I just did now. In a way, this is inheritance. Our model just inherited from a standard model. So again, 3 imports random. Where am I? Let's go.
Okay. Random
Random
dot.
dot.
Where
Where am I? Yeah. Did you ask you to print it? You did not. Did we?
No.
Go back. Go back. So it's really working, but you're not seeing what is happening. We say print.
So Mr. Topman,
Yes.
I said the for the built-in function module, do we not have random?
Random in the built-in model.
Yes.
I'm not aware.
Where you have randomness, if you want to do rand, all those functions for random generation of numbers.
Okay, that one is round now.
That's in C now.
There is such function. That's what. Okay. This question, you're taking me to something. There's this part that talked about how to deal with submodels with the same name, and that's where the white card.
So maybe it is conflicting with that inbuilt one.
No, it's not conflicting. No,
it's not.
We did not
Okay, let's try
actually
again.
add the print statement to this. We only gave it to run this command. This is.
But wait,
or what?
Wait, that command is supposed to print now. It has the ability to print. Why is it not printing?
But let's see what happens now. See now. Now it's printed. Because this is a function. Inside this function, it can only this is a Python program. So we have to pass in this print function so that I can now print whatever this method is calling.
Okay, go back to the meta mode. Now, I did that to show you that we can have a function that has no argument. We can have a function that has no argument, right? So before we print before we use our last function, I was going to demonstrate packages. I don't know whether I have it to demonstrate that again. You will need it. You need it. Your LBIB clone, you will need it. I have to use package. But I'll be with you. I'll be with you. Then I'll be with you. We'll talk about it then, but let's use this time to look at things we have missed in the past. Please follow the journey to see. Follow it. It's very important. Certain things is that it's happening in Python. You will understand better if you have a good program, one language code. And then you expect that. Be steadfast, be faithful, be consistent. Let's do it. Okay. Who has that question? Please ask a question before we run our. Nice.
Okay. I wanted to ask you. You said you will show us how to prevent our script from executing when imported. I didn't see us do that. I didn't see us do that. I was thinking.
We actually did, and it was explained. Maybe you see the video. Right? Any other question? Just that we did not actually use it we did not now import it in another file or something, or in that I may not have done a perfect illustration of it because I'm supposed to write a program that executes by default and then use that to see whether we can control it. But we did. What depends on to control it, we illustrate this video. Any other question, please? All right. We have one more thing to show you is a function that does not take any argument, and here you go. So, see you when we see again. God bless you. Thank you for joining.